2024 Siebekaya, according to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, oba bonten betre say insuyire a day in day out year bia no ekoso ewo enkran pumpuni mantem no ode December to abonten ano wo kire say saa nsuyiri ni nyina no na na adodan kwa Akufo Addo ene ne ministers ne fault because omo ma failing say omo be protect life and property ewo man Ghana mu ha we nyina no ye nsem a His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Edibeto Abontin in 2023-2024 time now we campaign towards 2024 elections no and all this same way no Ebeto Abontin. Now fast forward 2026 who the biggest flood issues in Ghana Siebekaya na no ada the see crowd na anu di ye pa ama unfortunately nipa be say 30 something afamu ahwere omo nkwanche se ejapade a asai amanfo cars amanfo dem nneoma ahodo bebre ka ho a ni nyina no insuyiri asai no enya asem ketoa na asada no so na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as part of ne plans a wo so de be solve saa insuyiri a yie bia no ekoso won kran pumpuni mantem no de helicopter eninam wiemu a ene flood zones e wo man mu ha ni nyina na insuo no ayiri ho nyina no His Excellency John Dramani Mahama de ewiemu hyen yi ekofa honom ebo apro ehwehwe ekwan ahodo on befa so a omode sa flood issues yi ebefa so ba remfi say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na ankasa adikan flood committee a na omo na insuyiri bi ebeba ha no ombehwe kwan a ombefa so a omode be solve sa issues ni nyina flood committee no ni nyina no ewo honom na no ana amanfuo bi a na anu ada omunnioma yiriye anase nsuo fa omunnioma se omajapade na ebimu fa emu hwere omon kwa na emu bia ba abonti aba be expose His Excellency John Dramani Mahama enya asem ketua ensem a His Excellency John Dramani Mahama kan ye na anu o chese na adodan kwa Akufo Addo ene ni ministers na ama nsuo ejiri oman mu ha no maba abonten aba be expose sa na oman nyina asa so aka cha His Excellency John Dramani Mahama say insuo yiri afa amanfo sutwa jajo no eno odi wiem hyen eninam wiem a chese oni de o chili wo wiem ho no mu a enya asenketo a ensam de amanfo yi akabi de a kire ne yie pantie monrem na enkoti mu asem nyina ewia de aka nyina
mejina ha mi boafu miansi yankodem hodam nkotso ne ma na afai monhwa enyina ya wo Ghana na muntimi mboaye se bibiti a muntimi mboaye de aya ya papa monhwa Mombra aya sa fichiendura ye bedroom nyina monhwe nsuo asa bibia mibra nsuo no na ayire ni sana oyare da ho no amani asma sorry se ye anything ye wo Ghana fo muntimi mboa ye se bibiti a eye yaw ye nyina na ye votu mama ende wo ti akonwa so na se BBC a Rollins ti ase no se BBC nsuo yi nkofo yetimi hu Rollins na ende se BBC a yentimi hu mama eni ni nkofo ya na ye votu ye kokomotiri na eton
nti bacho we is ende NPB amba hana se peni
ye hu obi a de see ye no ebisi 30 years and son ebisi 25 years ni ena last so nsuo ni to ye no ye fie ha nyina ye ma but antimi anwre ye dem ti sese ende ase ye bibia emu ye duane a ye be di nyina nsuo asenu aden eye boni ben aye ntimi hu opan ni bia ntimi ampie amba jiji yakuma so ama ambe kahwe ankyere ye kotoku na ho no ye ntuma ni ye ntare na egumu aden eye boni ben mpanifo bi pontimi mpie no membe juju ya kuma yankaso mbe bibi poma ye obe juju nipa no kuma ye hu se yesu mudwi ye hu ana mubu ye mudwi ye hu no ana afiti endura ya sroge sa bebe e bedapo ya anya yetimi tukwa ikokro bi no so nsuo yi nkrofo a omutimi ka se o mumbra ya nya hotel ha mam munkoda na adi nchi ye den nsuo no ye gina nsuo no sama ade asa ase ade achi ade e boni ben
ano na uncle Kwesi Pratt ebe so mu se ade a President Mahama aye se your friend is saying fly sea out helicopter one o guest te top class helicopter mu hwewiem a wo ye content wo twu wo phone e twitwa pictures e twitwa videos se videos no wo twa and pictures no wo twa send one because one uye penya udi weni ehu into videos na wo twa and pictures na wo twa send one because the back starts with you in sema see here during his excellency Nana Addo Akufo Addo President Mahama born in Umutu say ombonom here to blame because certain ministries be Ministry of Sanitation or matitini na obaba obegunu na wire was solve perennial flooding by ne perennial flooding na koso ni esia oti helicopter mu na ohwewem o say sa image ni de eda enfata kra and said the National Democratic Congress enya ade a it shows say obi wo empathy or tema emma statistics in Kofor or lose your lives and in Kofor about 38,000 ye displace you from bibia or tibia baby or beda a mudiani name na ase a bed and a situation on the ground in the equity I go see Pratt Ninsema or the children.
There are a few things that I've observed which are not really substantial, but the cosmetic value is also very important. Yesterday or 2 days ago, the president decided to go on a helicopter trip around the flooded areas to assess the damage, Now, I know the president to be a historian and a journalist, His trip is not likely to produce a scientific outcome. This helicopter trip is not likely to produce a scientific outcome for the problems that the people of this country are confronted with. It shows some empathy with the people who are affected and so on, but I would have thought that even that would have been better displayed if it was walking on the ground, touching people, getting into affected homes, lifting babies and so on. The empathy would have been better expressed than flying around the flooded city in a helicopter. But that is what perhaps his advisors, put before him. And he did it, I don't think that the aesthetics are good enough. In a situation where you have this massive flooding and your leaders are in helicopters flying over you, the aesthetics are not very good, But then that has been done. At least it shows some level of concern, even though the aesthetics do not appear to be excellent. You understand? Now, where we are, I think it's time for us to go back to the drawing board.
Or perhaps, Kwesi, he would have done both. Get an aerial view, which is a better eye view of the situation. It's you would appreciate the situation much more if you are in the air, and then come down and then interact with the people.
Well, I have no objection to that.
Yeah.
I have no objection to that. But the aesthetics,
I understand.
They didn't look very good.
With the optics.
Yeah, the aesthetics didn't look very good. But I agree with you. I mean, both could have been done.
Yes.
The flag bearer of the new Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, in the NIC form, victims of these massive floods. Now, ordinance surprisingly, now other members of parliament, the advisors, Bibrina, Atrenweshia, Omukodinechi, Ama assess this national disaster, especially the greater Accra. Nessa Modi Tudra on the media for Ekasa Enjebre into Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia on the ground.
We've been hit by tragedy, and this is a tragedy for all of Ghana. It isn't a tragedy just for Accra or here in Botiana and Glacier, I'm from. It is a tragedy for all of Ghana. And the flooding, as we have seen, has caused a lot of damage. We've lost lives. In fact, as I have arrived here, I'm told that there is a dead body that has yet to be picked up. We are calling on the authorities, NADMO and the police to come together and make sure that the dead body is picked up. It's really unbelievable that it hasn't been done since yesterday. And I plead with the police and NADMO to come together to pick up this dead body. And I think that is just something that has to be done without anything. But I think that at the end of the day, I want Ghanaians, all of us, to come together. I don't want what is happening to break down into a partisan battle amongst the parties. There's a real issue of flooding facing Greater Accra region. And that issue is something that requires immediate and urgent solutions. And I think that is where we should focus on. How do we solve the problem? We shouldn't get into blame games. We should focus on how we can quickly solve the problems. What is worrying for me is that the forecasts are forecasts of even more rain to come. And if this is going to be more rain, I believe that the government could also consider even declaring a state of emergency, so that we deal with this in that particular format, that a state of emergency is declared, because this is a real big problem for this country, and we have to put all our energies, all our talents, all the engineers, all the hydrologists, we have to bring everybody together, regardless of party, because this is for Ghana. And let us do it for Ghana. Let us come together for Ghana and solve this problem for our country. And so that is where I want to ask everybody, let's do this together and let's provide relief, immediate relief to the people who are affected. People need food, people don't have clothes, people don't have mattresses. Let us make sure that we come immediately to their aid to do that. Everybody should do something. Myself, I will try and help in the small way I can with some of these relief items. But I think that we are a country, our country people, our communities are in need, and we should all chip in to come and help them in this. It is a sad situation. It's a human story that we should look at. We should look at the solutions to it, but I think it's fine. Thank you very much.
You understand? What is happening is a serious catastrophe. And I think that we should adopt the scientific approach to find the solution to the crisis before us, rather than do what we have always done, which has not resolved the problem. This blame game has been on for 30, 40 years. It hasn't resolved the problem. Let's get to the basics, and deal with the problem. And I like the suggestions that Kuditumbafu makes about taking an engineering and planning approach, to the problem.
Muro.
Yes, sir.
The statement made by Dr. Bawumia gives a clear distinction between him and then candidate Mahama. Because he's saying that my flag bearer said we should move away from politics. But it's important that we also remind ourselves of statement made by President Mahama on a similar situation at the time.
But that's exactly
Please.
You are not listening to him.
I'm listening to him. When it was our time,
yes,
and we were addressing the issue and the challenge, you politicize it. And basically, I said we shouldn't talk about it. No, I'm not saying you.
It's your flag bearer who says that they don't take that part.
It's important. I'm on the floor. Allow me. No, please. Cool down. I have the floor.
You're saying that I am.
You wait when I finish. Then you
I haven't said.
Please, you haven't said it. Cool down.
But you know that I haven't said.
You haven't said it. You said, but
what I've said.
You not politicize it.
No,
fair.
No,
you said
no, that's not what I said.
So let me have the floor. Let me finish.
You cannot mistake me when I'm saying.
Please, you just said Dr. Bawumia said this is a national issue. Therefore, we should not politicize it.
And I said I disagree with him. I said I disagreed with him. So people like, look, listen, that is why it's important that you are commenting on what I said and you don't even know what I said.
Can I finish? When I finish, then you come.
If you are going to comment on what I said, it is important that you know what I said. Obviously, you were sitting here, but you weren't listening. Can I?
Yes.
Yes. What I said was that in situations of national disaster, if persons misconduct themselves, they should be called out and blamed. And therefore, I disagree with Dr. Bawumia. Didn't I say that?
Yes, you did.
What I'm saying is that, interestingly, his own party people, members of parliament and communicators, are not listening to him. That's what I said.
Okay. All right.
And I said that shows the difference between Dr. Bawumia and President Mahama.
Okay.
When similar things happen, he jumped on a high horse and started attacking President Akufo Addo. He didn't look like a nationalistic. He did not. And I said he's in his 6th year as president of this country. When June 3rd, 2015, he was then the president. Justice Delali Duse report was given to him. So he doesn't need to go and fly in an helicopter for him to know the devastation on the ground. He knows already. So flying those who are attacking him who saying that why is the president in the heli flying up there? The president knows the problem already. So move into action. One bank is telling us that the finance minister is not releasing money for the current project. So this is an issue. And I'm saying that the